Have you ever used one of those bendy straws? And have you ever noticed that they're all about the same height? Interesting. I wonder what would happen if we made a straw that was really tall. I think we should explore that today. So let me tell you what materials you'll need. First, you're going to need some straws. It's best to have the straws that bend. You'll need about 12 of those. Then you'll need a ruler. You will need scissors. You will need tape. And then you'll need a cup and some sort of juice or liquid. I made mine Kool-Aid so that way you can see how much I have in my cup. Now for 10 of your straws, you will need to cut 2 half-inch cuts into the bottom of them. So grab an adult, and while you take a ruler and mark off half, then your adult can go and they can cut in the half-inch cut onto one side, flip the straw over and cut another cut on the back side of it, and do that for all 10. Once you've done that, now it's time to connect our straws. So you're going to take 2 of your straws and you'll take the bendy side, the part you didn't cut, and then the side that you did cut, and we're going to connect those. So the reason we cut it was to make it easier for the straw to go inside the other one. Okay? So now that we've connected our straws, you're going to take some tape and make sure that the seal that you have is secure and airtight. Why would we want our seal to be airtight? I wonder if maybe it's because when we drink out of a straw, we don't want air. We just want the drink that we're drinking. So I bet that's why we want our tape to be really secure and tight. Okay, so once you've done that, now it's time to test it. Okay, so you're going to grab your drink, put your straw in there, and don't bend it. We want it to be super straight. And you're going to drink from it. I got a drink. If you didn't get a drink, then that means that there must be a hole somewhere. So try to find that hole and then patch it up with tape, and we're going to keep going. But before we add another straw, I want to test something with you. So first, I want you to grab your straw and your drink, and I want you to suck just really lightly, okay? I didn't really get a drink at all when I sucked really lightly. That's interesting. So now I want you to suck on your straw really hard and see what happens. That time I got a lot of drink. That is interesting. I wonder why that happens. Why was it that when I sucked harder, I got a lot of a drink, but when I sucked really lightly, I didn't get really any drink? We'll keep thinking about that. Okay, now it is time to actually add more straws to make this a really tall straw, okay? So make sure that after each time you add a straw, you put tape around it to make sure it's secure, and then you have to test it out because there might be a leak or your straw might be bad. So make sure to, when you test it, you have this vertical straw. That means it's not bending at all, it's just up and down. You put that in your drink and then you suck out of it, okay? And if you get a drink, then you're good to go. Once it gets really, really hard to get any juice from your cup, then that's probably time to stop, and then we're gonna do a different activity with it, okay? So you might need a chair to drink out of your drink. It might get that high, I'm not sure. I'm gonna do mine, and then we're gonna come back together and we're gonna compare our straws, okay? Okay, so I made my really long straw, and I wanted to try to use all of the 12 straws that I had cut. Okay, it got really hard to suck any more juice out of this straw. Okay, so we're gonna count and make sure that I can prove to you I have 12 straws. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It is so tall that I had to get a chair to drink my juice. I don't know about you, but I bet you got a lot too. So let's test it out. Wowee, that is one tall straw. So let's test it out and make sure that I'm actually getting juice out of this straw. Finally, but that took a really long time and a lot of effort on my part to suck all of that juice all the way up. I wonder why it took so much longer to suck the juice out of this straw than it did when I just had a short straw. Maybe let's try it a different way. I wonder what would happen if I bent my straw a little bit, maybe like halfway down. Let's try it out. Okay, so now we're gonna try this at a 45-degree angle. Okay, so we were vertical, and now we are going halfway down to the ground, okay? So let's test it out and see if it's any easier to suck the juice out of this straw. It did feel a little easier, but I wonder why. Let's try something different. Now let's try this horizontally. So have your parent try to hold your straw almost exactly horizontally, which means it's even with the floor, and we're gonna see if that makes it easier. You might have to fill up your glass really high, so that way you can get the best angle. Okay, let's try it. That was a lot faster. This is interesting. You guys asked a lot of great questions during our experiment, so let's talk about some of those. So when you have a cup and you put a straw in there, do you notice that the water only goes as high into the straw as you had liquid in the cup? So if you filled your cup halfway, your straw is only going to be filled up to that point. And that's because air pressure is everywhere and it's pushing down on everything. So that's why our juice isn't just shooting right out of our cup, because there's air pressure. So we have to overcome that air pressure to get the juice out of our cup. So when you suck from the straw, there's less air pushing down on the juice. But when you suck only a little bit, there's still a lot of air pushing down on your juice, and so you're not getting a whole bunch in your mouth. But when you suck a lot, you're getting rid of that air in your mouth and your straw, so there's not a whole bunch of air pushing down in your liquid, and so you get so much juice in your mouth to drink. Now, another factor is your lung power. Some people have a lot of lung power, and so they can drink from 12 straws easier than other people, and that's okay. It's just how we were made. Lastly, let's talk about the gravity. So when we drank from our straw vertically, and then we drank from it at 45 degrees, and then we drank from it laying down, all of those were very different. And it was easier. Every time we got lower, it became easier. But why is that? Well, that's because of gravity. Gravity is what keeps us on the ground. It's always pushing against everything to make sure that we're not just floating away. And so when you have a 12 straw high straw, you're having to go that high over and overcome gravity that much. That's a lot of work, especially since gravity keeps all of us on the ground. But when you're laying down, you didn't have to overcome all of that gravity anymore because your liquid was just traveling horizontally. So if you put a cup in the kitchen and had a straw all the way to your room, you'd still be able to get juice pretty easy because the gravity wasn't affecting it as much. So I hope that you guys learned a lot from this video and are having a great time at your home. You can keep trying to build a really tall straw, and I don't know, you can just try all sorts of things. But I hope you guys keep learning and have a great day.